Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born in Albuquerque on January 12, 1964. Best known as the founder and executive chairman of Amazon, he was estimated by Forbes in May 2025 to have a net worth over $220 billion, ranking third in the world. This story traces his early life, education, the creation and evolution of Amazon, and the public scrutiny and ambitions that followed. He was born to Jacqueline Gies and Ted Jorgensen. His mother was 17, his father 19, a Danish-American unicyclist. After their divorce, Jacqueline married Cuban immigrant Miguel Mike Bezos in 1968, who adopted 4-year-old Jeff. The family moved to Houston after Mike completed his degree at the University of New Mexico and began work as an engineer for Exxon. Jeff attended River Oaks Elementary and spent summers at the Texas ranch of his maternal grandfather, Lawrence Preston Gies, a former regional director of the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission. The family later moved to Miami, where he attended Miami Palmetto High School and worked breakfast shifts at McDonald's. He joined the Student Science Training Program at the University of Florida, became valedictorian, a National Merit Scholar, and a 1982 Silver Knight Award winner. In his graduation speech, he envisioned humanity colonizing space, expressing a wish to get all people off the Earth and see it turned into a huge national park. At Princeton University, Bezos initially studied physics, then switched to electrical engineering and computer science. He joined the Quadrangle Club, led the Princeton chapter of students for the exploration and development of space, was elected to Phi Beta Kappa and Tau Beta Pi, and graduated summa cum laude with a BSE in 1986. From 1986 to early 1994, he held Wall Street-related roles. At Vitel, where he led development and customer service, at Bankers Trust as a product manager, and at D.E. Shaw & Coopers, becoming its 4th senior vice president by age 30. In 1994, after reading that web usage was growing at 2,300% per year, he decided to build an online bookstore. He and his then-wife, Mackenzie Scott, wrote a business plan during a drive from New York City to Seattle and founded Amazon in a Bellevue garage on July 5, 1994. An initial name, Cadabra, was changed to Amazon, partly for alphabetical placement and to evoke the world's largest river. His parents invested an estimated $300,000, and he warned early backers there was a 70% chance of failure. Amazon began as an online bookstore, but was intended to expand. It went public in 1997. In 1998, it moved into music and video, and soon into a wide range of consumer goods, financing acquisitions with proceeds from the 1997 equity offering. StakesandPets.com and Cosmo.com later failed after the dot-com bubble burst. By late 2000, Amazon borrowed $2 billion as cash balances fell. In 2002, revenues stagnated, and the company closed distribution centers and laid off 14% of its workforce. That year, it launched Amazon Web Services to compile and provide data services. In 2003, Amazon turned a $35 million profit. In 2007, Bezos introduced the Kindle to support what he called a flow state in reading. Over time, Amazon expanded into streaming, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing, becoming the world's largest online sales company, the largest internet company by revenue, and the largest provider of virtual assistants and cloud infrastructure services through AWS. As Bezos and Amazon grew, public image and leadership methods came under scrutiny. Labor leader Sharon Burrow said, "Jeff Bezos represents the inhumanity of employers who are promoting the North American corporate model." In 2019, Harvard Business Review stopped ranking him among its top 100 performers, citing Amazon's relatively low ESG scores tied to working conditions, data security, and antitrust issues. Bezos has publicly contested critical reporting, including a 2015 memo denouncing a New York Times piece. He frames his approach as day one, warning that day two leads to stasis, irrelevance, decline, and death. He has described a regret minimization framework prioritized get big fast, reinvested profits, and emphasized data-driven decisions. He prefers work-life harmony, avoids early morning meetings, uses a two-pizza rule for team size, and evaluates candidates on whether colleagues admire them, whether they raise standards, and whether they could become exemplary. Senior briefings use 6-page narratives, and his annual letters stress customer focus, risk-taking, morale, culture, and empowerment. He maintains JeffAmazon.com, forwarding some messages with AEE to prompt fixes. He has cited influences including Jeff Immelt, Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, and Bob Iger. Recognition has included Time Person of the Year, 1999, Fortune Business Person of the Year, 2012, the Heinlein Prize, 2016, election to the National Academy of Engineering, 2018, and France's Légion d'honneur in 2023. His wealth fluctuated sharply, from $10.1 billion in 1999 down to $1.5 billion in 2002, then rising past $100 billion in 2017 and to $112 billion in 2018. A 2019 divorce transferred 25% of his Amazon shares to Mackenzie Scott while he retained voting control. Reports have described an adversarial management style, including sharp remarks quoted in The Everything Store. At the Washington Post, accusations of conflicts of interest have been denied. Employee activism grew with a 2018 open letter, a brief strike in 2023, and newsroom criticism after he blocked a 2024 endorsement of Kamala Harris. Resignations and subscriber cancellations followed. In February 2025, he announced that Post opinions would back personal liberties and free markets, and said divergent views would not be published, prompting further resignations and cancellations. He has been described by some as an oligarch. His personal life includes a 1993 marriage to Mackenzie Scott and 4 children. He survived a 2003 helicopter crash, appeared in Star Trek Beyond, and married Lauren Sanchez in June 2025. Political activity has included support for same-sex marriage in 2012, donations across parties, a CIA cloud contract in 2014, litigation over the Pentagon's Jedi bid, marketing facial recognition to ICE, a 2019 Seattle PAC effort, and a $100 million gift to the Obama Foundation in 2021. After years of criticism from Donald Trump, Bezos congratulated him on a second election victory. Axios reported 2024 contacts and 2025 meetings, including a dinner at Mar-a-Lago and a $1 million Amazon donation to Trump's inauguration, while the Financial Times noted a shift toward a more positive relationship. Separately, Bezos met Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in 2018. His security consultant later accused the Saudi government of hacking Bezos's phone and linked it to Washington Post coverage. Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi journalist and dissident who wrote for the Washington Post, was killed in late 2018 at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. In January 2020, The Guardian reported that the hack of Bezos's phone was initiated before the murder, but after Khashoggi wrote critically about the Crown Prince in the Post. A forensic review by FTI Consulting concluded it was highly probable the breach was achieved using a malicious file hidden in a video sent via WhatsApp to Bezos from the personal account of the Crown Prince on May 1, 2018. Saudi Arabia denied the claim. During the same period, Bezos made a series of donations and launched initiatives. Between 2009 and 2017, he gave to the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. In 2013, he pledged $500,000 to World Reader. In May 2017, he donated $1 million to the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. And on June 15, 2017, he asked on Twitter for philanthropy ideas, noting he was considering efforts opposite his usual long-term focus. At that time, his lifetime charitable spending was estimated at $100 million, and multiple opinion columnists urged higher wages for Amazon warehouse workers. In January 2018, he gave $33 million to thedream.us. In June 2018, he donated to Breakthrough Energy Ventures and said he would announce 2 philanthropic foci by the end of the summer. In September 2018, he committed about $2 billion to address American homelessness and to build a network of nonprofit preschools for low-income communities, announcing the Day One Families Fund for shelters and daycare and the Day One Academies Fund for early education. That month, Business Insider noted he was the only one among the 5 richest people who had not signed the Giving Pledge. And a Foundation Center official raised questions about the new fund's structure and financing. He also donated $10 million to With Honor. In February 2020, Bezos pledged $10 billion to the Bezos Earth Fund to combat climate change, and in April 2020, he gave $100 million to the Feeding America. In November 2020, he announced $791 million to Earth Fund grants, including $100 million each, to Environmental Defense Fund, Natural Resources Defense Council, the Nature Conservancy, World Resources Institute, and World Wildlife Fund, with the remainder to other groups. In July 2021, he announced the Courage and Civility Award, giving $100 million each to Van Jones and Jose Andres. In November 2021, he pledged $2 billion for food systems and nature conservation at the United Nations Climate Conference. The next year, he donated $100 million to Dolly Parton. On November 22, 2022, the Day One Families Fund awarded $123 million to 40 organizations relocating homeless families to permanent housing. Bezos Academy, a network of tuition-free preschools for low-income families, operates in a manner similar to Montessori, though it is not Montessori accredited. In March 2024, he donated $50 million each to Eva Longoria and retired Admiral Bill McRaven. Across leadership practices, recognition, wealth, and influence, Bezos's actions have drawn sustained attention from employees, investors, media, and political figures, while a contested hacking claim and a growing philanthropic portfolio continue to shape his public commitments. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more real stories from around the world.